All right, how you doing, everybody? This is Jonathan from Brookdale Fun and Fitness, and if you've gotten this link, you probably have attached to your email your measurements from when you took earlier this week. Now, I created a dummy file so that when you go over your measurements, you're not completely lost as to the numbers, what they mean, and how you should interpret them. So let's get started. Let's start with the upper left-hand portion. Up there, you're gonna see your weight, your current body fat, your age, your goal weight, your goal body fat, your height, and your statistics slightly to the right of it. First, I just want to explain what the body fat percentage is, and that's really just the total amount of fat weight relative to your total body weight. Now, if you look over to page number 2 with the recommended body fat ranges, you'll see based on your gender and on your age where you want to fall around. Now, the way that I'm going to be looking at things is if you fall into the very high category, I want you to get to the high category. If you fall in the high category right now, I want you to get to the normal. If you're in normal, I want you to get to the lower end of that. And if you're trying to get to low, then we'll approach that as we go along. But I don't want you to get freaked out by your number, your body fat number. Essentially, you need body fat. It's going to be required, and you don't need to hit the low in order to be happy with your results. Most people tend to hang around the high end of the normal or the mid to high end of the high category. So even when you get to the normal range, you're going to find that you're going to be feeling in a lot better shape and that your clothes are going to be feeling a lot better. So as for your starting statistics, you can see that your weight is broken down. Your fat weight is to the left and your healthy weight is to the right. Now, it's a little bit of a misnomer, that healthy weight, because that's everything outside of fat weight. All right, so that can still be water weight, that can be undigested waste, and the average American carries anywhere from 5 to 15 pounds of undigested waste in the intestines. So, if the healthy weight number goes down as you progress, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're losing muscle. All right, I just want you to keep that in mind. Also, the fat weight number, don't be so thrown off if your number is above 50. Um, you're going to find that in most cases, you need to be maintaining like 30 or 40 pounds of fat anyway, especially with the women. So don't let that freak you out. Now, in terms of your goal weight, I set your goal weight anywhere from 5 to 15 pounds of your starting weight, just to give you a first milestone to shoot for. And your body fat, as I explained before, I'm trying to get you down really from one category to the next category down, and then we'll work from there. So, if you look at the change necessary under the starting status, it will let you know what you need to do in order to achieve that goal weight and goal body fat. So, for this Jane Doe file, this person would need to lose 17.8 pounds of fat and put on about 3 pounds of muscle in order to achieve the 140 pounds with 28% body fat. That goal composition below is what their body composition will be after they hit their goal. So as you can see, their goal weight is 140. So if they achieve their goal, then they will be carrying 39 pounds of fat weight and 100 pounds of healthy weight. That's a healthy body. So see, it's not that bad to have fat weight on you. You're not trying to be an Olympic superstar. So don't let the fact that you have fat on your body freak you out. Now, let's go down to the body fat chart. It has the date. In terms of the tricep, suprailiac, umbilicus, and thigh, those numbers are put in to match the number that you got when you did the handheld body fat. You really just want to concentrate on the number in red. The first number in red that you see, that's the body fat, which will match the body fat on the top. It gives you a further breakdown so that you can see month by month how your body is changing. So the body fat right now is 36.82. In a month or two, we'll take the body fat again, and then you'll see the change overall in the body fat percentage. The fat weight, the healthy weight will also change, and then it'll let me know, okay, what are you losing and why. So it won't just be the numbers that will tell me, if you're making sure that you're losing just fat weight or muscle weight. It'll also be your look. That's why we're going to be taking your girth measurements. As you can see, these measurements are done in inches. This is the one that I did with the tape measure. So I took your arms, arm flex, chest, waist, hips, thighs, and calves. So look at your girth measurements and take a note of what you want to see go down. I just want you to understand that based on genetic predisposition, you're going to find that some things are going to go down quicker than others. I want to make sure that as you lose weight, your body fat is going down, and your girth measurements reflect that. That's my overall goal. Now, in the next section down, the caloric need and the dieting plan. Again, we have the weight that you have at the current point, your body fat percentage, because that helps me to calculate exactly how many calories you need, and I put everybody at an activity level 2. Nobody said anything that led me to believe that they would need to be put at a 3 or even a 1 yet. So the caloric need is however many calories you need to take in per day to maintain your body weight. So as you can see, this Jane Doe file needs to maintain 1,731 calories. In order for her to lose weight, what I'm going to do is create a caloric deficit. So I actually want you to subtract about 400 calories from your caloric need. So in order to facilitate the weight loss of about a pound a week, excuse me, you would want to be taking in, if you were Jane Doe, 1,431 calories. So if your caloric need is 2,000, you're going to be taking in 1,600 calories. All right, and then we'll have videos on what kind of calories taken from there. But that's the main driving point, is understanding how to make your caloric deficit so it translates into fat loss. In the testing progression, we haven't done push-up tests or squat tests yet. I'm actually going to keep that to the side. The BMI, as you can see, we took that with the handgun. And to your right, you're going to see a chart as to what your BMI should be. Now, the BMI measurement is not something I'm going to pay a whole lot of attention to because it's inconsistent on a lot of fronts. Mainly, if you're a guy and you're carrying more muscle, then it's going to tend to inflate your BMI, and then it would say that you're overweight when you're actually in good shape. If you were 6 foot 190 as a male, it would have you as overweight. For the women, if you're particularly busty or have wider set hips, your weight may be a little bit higher, and then that may throw off your BMI even if you're in great shape. So again, I just took it just because it was there, just so you can have it, but I don't want you to put too much pressure on it. Pressure is a perfect segue to the blood pressure, which is below that. Now that number I do care about. You want to line that up with the classification of blood pressure for adults on the other page, and that'll let you know if you're pre-hypertension, hypotension, let me know if your blood pressure is too high or too low. My main thing for you is health. So even though I want to see the scale go down and I want to see the body fat lower, change usually comes from the inside out. So the first thing that I want to make sure is that if you're in, stage 1 hypertension, that you definitely get to normal, all right? Or if you're in hypotension, that you get to normal before I start worrying about how many pounds went off, because the healthier the body is, the easier it will be for you to lose weight. Now, the resting heart rate is going to let me know how hard your heart needs to work in order to maintain activity. All right, so the less beats that it needs to make per minute in order to maintain a resting state, more blood is pumping per beat, so it doesn't have to work as hard. So, if your resting heart rate is high, let's say if your resting heart rate is 100 and you're sitting next to somebody with a resting heart rate of 50, that means that your heart has to work a lot harder because it's not efficiently pumping blood through the body. As far as I understand, I think Lance Armstrong had a resting heart rate of about 36, meaning that every time his heart beat, it pumped out more blood so it didn't have to constantly work itself. All right, a lower resting heart rate is equal to a more efficient heart. So the blood pressure going down and the resting heart rate are going to be two big factors for me. And then, when the scale goes down and the body fat goes down, we'll all throw a party together.